I'm here in After Effects, and I have some text that I'd like to add a light ray effect to. Now, I like to do my lighting effects to duplicates of the original layer to give myself maximum flexibility later on. So I'm going to go ahead and take my text layer, Command-D on Mac or Control-D on Windows to duplicate it, then apply my Light Rays plugin to the duplicate. In this case, I'm going to use Trapcode's Shine. Trapcode Shine. Now, Shine has a lot of nice options to it. You have many different options on how to colorize your light rays, or go ahead and pick up the original colors in the logo. I'm going to go ahead and boost light to get a more of a burned out sort of look. And then I'm going to go ahead and use blending modes to blend on top of the original logo. I'll use something like screen to go ahead and start out, get a nice glow there in the center. Now I've hit RAM preview and nothing happens. And this is the case with most light ray plugins. They render and they just sit there, and that's not very realistic. One of the reasons I do like Shine is it does have this shimmer parameter that does add some animation to the light rays. I'm going to crank it up so you can see what's going on. I'm going to add 200 to the amount and 100 to the detail. You'll see some streaks now inside my light rays. And if I were to animate the phase, I would get some movement to those streaks or to those rays. And it adds a very nice effect. But it's still a bit synthetic. It doesn't look like dust. So let's go ahead and add that dust in. Okay, the other important part of this trick is that you're going to need some clip, either stock footage or one you created yourself, of smoke or dust or something swirling about. To start off, I'm going to use this clip from the Artbeats Alien Atmospheres collection, and you'll see it's just some very nice, slowly drifting and swirling smoke. Close that, add it on top of my composition, and then I'm going to go ahead and use it as a luminance matte for my light rays. What that means is the bright areas in the smoke will show the light rays, the dark areas will not. Select it. Now you see I've got some breakups in the pattern here. Now I'm going to go ahead and RAM preview. And you'll see the smoke drifting through the light rays. That's a good start. Now the problem with a lot of these smoke or dust clips is they don't have as much contrast as you want. They darken down your light rays. So to add contrast, you can use one of a variety of effects. In After Effects, I happen to like the color correction auto contrast effect. What auto contrast does is automatically move the black to the darkest point and the whites in the footage to the brightest point to maximize my contrast, and the effect is usually brightening my layer. And you'll see my light rays are much brighter. Now when I RAM preview, you'll see that the smoke is a lot more obvious going through here and a lot more interesting. You can do this manually, by the way, by using effects such as color correction levels, looking at the histogram. This is what it looks like without auto contrast, and just go ahead and move the input black and input white points to where you need it to be to get the same effect. You can even play around with gamma to decide what sort of contrast you have as you go from dark areas to light areas in your light rays. But if you're in a hurry, go ahead and use auto contrast. Now, different source footage for the smoke will give you different results. For example, let's go ahead and look at this clip AM117, also from Alien Atmospheres. Not only does it have smoke, it has underlying water with some bright spots moving around. So let's go ahead and replace our smoke layer with this water plus smoke layer. I'll hold down Command and Option on Mac or Control and Alt on Windows and hit the slash key, and it will automatically replace my selected footage. I'll hit 0 on the numeric keypad to RAM preview. It'll take it a second to calculate here. And now you'll see, in addition to the smoke, I've got some nice animation going on. And I haven't even animated the shimmer parameter in Shine. This is all in the underlying footage. Let's try another clip. Artbeats has several collections called Real Fire, which has various smoke effects. This one, from Real Fire Collection 2, has very, very fast-moving smoke. So if I wanted a much more dynamic effect, I'll go ahead and replace my source footage with that. RAM preview. And now you see that I've got this smoke moving through my light rays, which gives another interesting variation and adds more animation to the scene. Another clip to try is from Artbeats Mayhem collection. This one is just dust particles flying about. So this would be a way of trying to recreate dust flying about through your light rays. I'll put that away. Go ahead and use Command Option slash again to replace it. RAM preview. And now where there were light rays, you see dust particles flying about. And you don't have to use the footage as you find it. You can play with it further if you want to. For example, I'll open up the effects controls again. In the case of auto contrast, I can play around with a white clip to go ahead and make the white parts of these particles a lot more obvious. And now that's much more like snow falling. You could do the same thing by adding a levels effect after auto contrast. Another fun trick is to add an effect such as Minimax. I'll select Channel, Minimax, set a radius to 1. And now you see I've converted my dust to these little square particles. I'll turn the layer on by itself so you can see what we have. Let's go ahead and bring the contrast back down again to get something a little more subtle. There we go. And now I've got sparklies going through my logo animation. And Minimax has other options as well, like maximum, then a minimum really creates an interesting kind of hollowed out effect that I really like. We'll go ahead and calculate that RAM preview. Minimax does take a couple of seconds to calculate, but it's not so bad. And there you go. Nice particles going through my dust. I'll turn that off and get back to normal. Now you can use this with whatever volumetric lighting effect that you like. I happen to use Trapcoat Shine here, but you can use other things such as glow effects. I'm going to turn off my LumaMatte so I can go ahead and see the unaffected light rays, turn off Shine for now, and apply another effect to this layer, such as, say, Trapcoat's Star Glow, which is some very nice glowing rays. Change the color map to something more appropriate, such as his Heaven preset. Crank up the streak length a little bit to have a very nice look to it. And then I'll go ahead and turn my Luminance Matte back on. Now I've got particles floating through my glow effect, or again, I can try different footage. I'm going to go ahead and go back to my original drifting curling smoke, RAM preview. And now you see I've got a very nice, subtle, but more realistic look as my smoke drifts through my volumetric lighting effect. Let me show you this trick with another favorite plugin of mine, Trapcoat's Lux. Here's a composition that has a couple 3D lights in After Effects. There's the light, there's the pull of light it makes when it hits another surface, but you don't see anything in between. Trapcoat's Lux fills in volumetric light in between the light source and its destination. So I will go Layer, New, Solid. Again, make it the comp size. I'll just call this the Lux Lighting Layer to keep it straight. And I'll apply Effect, Trapcoat Lux. And immediately I see visible light from my light source in After Effects to my other layers. And Lux gives me other capabilities, such as designating a layer to cut off how far the light gets cast. You'll see now I no longer have this light glowing underneath my floor. But the problem with Lux is, again, when I RAM preview, it's not moving. There's no animation to my volumetric light. So I treat it just like I did my other examples. I'll go back to my project panel, pick some stock footage of some nice drifting smoke. Here's some of those particularly interesting. Add it to the layer above my solid, which has Lux in it. Go ahead and blow out its levels. I can either use the auto contrast that I used before, or do it manually with a levels effect. Bring my white point down to get some nice blowouts here. Bring my black point up to get some contrast. And then set my track matte for the Lux layer. I'll use my smoke layer as a LumaMatte, and now you can see some streaks going through my lights. I'll cue up a quick RAM preview here. And now you will see my smoke layer actually drifting through my volumetric lights, and it looks a lot more realistic than just having a solid cone of light. Just go ahead and use footage of smoke, dust, water vapor, anything swirling about as a track matte for your volumetric light effects inside After Effects.